What do you want? You can't go with me. No, don't look at me like that. You can't go with me. I'm going out to film outside, and it's very hot out there. And here's the thing, Bubbles. It's called a Fancycast. So then, you gotta listen. It means you have to be fancy in order to be on the Fancycast, and I don't think that you quite make the cut. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. Goddamn trees are screaming again. Fucking leaves, man. Bullshit. Bullshit, YOLO. Alright. It's hot. It's gonna be another hot one. It was hot yesterday. It was hot the day before. Right now, critical time of the day, where it's gotta get hotter in order to feel cooler. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this. You can actually see the evidence of what I'm speaking of. There's poof poof clouds. Happy poof poof clouds. Now, if you feed them too much, if you feed the happy poof poof clouds too much, they turn into angry clouds. Kind of like that one weird spirit in that Spirited Away, where it's like if you feed him too much, he's like, I want more. But right now, he's just like, Remember that? It's kind of creepy. Kind of like, I guess he's kind of cute. But that's not besides the point. We're not talking about how happy poof poof clouds. Because if you feed them moisture, and they have enough, and there's like their ceiling, they don't have they have a lofty ceiling. That's another thing. They have to have a lofty ceiling. So you feed them moisture and they have to have a lofty ceiling. And then they have to be able to have like a conveyor belt for food, aka moisture. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it has to get hot for it to feel cooler. Because most of that stuff, most of these poof poof clouds, they weren't here this morning. You don't see them in the morning. Because all the moisture is down here at the ground level. But you walk around in the morning time, it starts to warm up, and it's just like, ugh, it's humid. It feels gross. No, thank you. But then it gets a little bit hotter, hot enough for that moisture to go up. It cools and coalesces, reaches its dew point. Hi, you doing your laps? Oh. Heidi and I, we were having a conversation about short buses and special classes. Which cats ride the short bus? Which cats go to special classes? Which cats are good at school? Which cats are valedictorians? Or like in the running for valedictorian? We thought that Noe's probably like in the running for like class president, valedictorian. Fred Kona is probably in like he needs like special classes. And I remember saying I'm like, Will definitely like rides the short bus. And Heidi's like, Will drives the short bus. Will, and I'm like, wait, no. Actually, they have a special setup. For Will, where there's the driver, the regular driver, but then there's like a fake Fisher-Price steering wheel at the front seat. And that's where Will sits. Will sits at the fake, like beep beep. And then we were like, all right, who else? And then Heidi was like, Munchie definitely rides the short bus. And I'm like, what? Really? You think so? And she's like, yes. I'm like, I thought that maybe he would just like, need some extra time to like take some tests. Be in one of those classrooms where there's more teachers than students. And she's like, no, dear. No. Munchie is short bus. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Heidi thinks that Boomer would be a valedictorian candidate. Heidi thinks that Boomer's very smart. And then I'm like, I can go along with that. I can agree with that. Like Boomer, so it's like Boomer and Noe would be like valedictorians, but then I'm like, who would, like, so not even a valedictorian, because that's, okay, we're not talking about, so, because you have to do like, you have to have like social, you have to be known amongst the community, and you have to be, there's a political aspect to it. It's like, someone who would not be a valedictorian, but at graduation they would have like government organizations being like, hey, like different 3-letter organizations being like, hey, come work for us. Or like, like MIT is just like, yeah, we want you. Juno would not be a valedictorian, but would get recruited for like some weird, like think tank secret organization. Where is she? Where is she? Hold on. I will say, it actually is very nice in here. It's much nicer. Just took a while to cool down. But I guess holy shit. What the fuck? Make your brain get it. Malika, holy shit. Keepers, Graves. No, she does come in here. Malika does come in here. This needs to make sure. I suggested that Zara was probably a candidate for special, like the special class, like needs to go to get some special considerations. Particularly, maybe needs like a quiet room to take tests, but is able to graduate with the rest of the class. And she didn't exactly like that. She's like, I don't know, And I'm just like, I'm not saying that she's, like got some intellectual, deficits. I'm just saying that she's got, just needs some special considerations. That's it. Hi, Malika. Hey, Sugar Pie. Right now, there's a bit of a breeze. In the shade, it's not that bad. It's actually not too shabby. It's all right. I stepped back and then I said, hi, Ruby. And then she's like, I'm getting out of here. Man, breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Oh, that's Juno. That's Junie. That's surprising. Oh, nope, yep, she's in there. So I was like, where's... Usually it's What are you looking like? I don't know if it's like she's angry. That might actually just be her just like regulating heat. That might not be an aggressive face. That may literally just be just kind of like, well, it's a little bit hot, and it just kind of, this helps to breathe. This helps breathing. Like Junie is doing kind of the same thing right now. And Junie is totally relaxed. Like she does not care. Like, Junie does not give a turkey. She doesn't have that same just like kind of thing. And then there's Loki. And then there's Mr. Loki Man. Hi. I'm not gonna get too deep into your biscuits. Okay. Biscuits. So sorry. Hey, bud. Hi, Munchie. Munchie man. Munch. I was actually kind of thinking, and that this is what me and, I don't know, I was talking to Calvin yesterday, because Munchie runs after Calvin's truck a lot. Munchie has opinions on Calvin's truck, doesn't like it. Like, we can drive other vehicles around, and Munchie's kind of, for the most part, kind of fine. Then Calvin's truck will go through her, because Calvin's been having to come and do work. But then, Munchie's like, bleh. So we're kind of wondering if Munchie had, if he's kind of hard of hearing. Like, he can hear. But then I started suggesting that to Heidi. I'm like, well, there's that, but I also think that Munchie just has, like, some pretty significant neurologic difficulties. And I'm just like, yeah, special classes. And then she's like, no, short bus. And that's kind of that's how that conversation started. Yep. Oh, hey, fancy people. Are you feeling fancy today? I'm feeling fancy. Do you want to do fancy things? Do you want to come do fancy things with me? We won't tell anyone, though. It'll be our fancy secret. We'll go and do fancy things together. Shh. That felt right. We should probably start all of our fancy casts off like that. That should be the equivalent. That should be the hello all you big cat lovers out there, but for the fancy cast. Hey, fancy people, you want to go do some come on, let's go to the clubhouse. Let's do some fancy things together. Secret fancy things. And people be like, are you trying to lose subscribers? Why are you doing this? So, we did an intense full court press in the final 35 seconds of the fourth quarter. I don't know if you notice, but there's not a wall here going this way. And then the fence is down on this side. I don't know if you've noticed either, a silhouette in a spot that silhouettes are normally not. Oh my goodness. Someone call Dr. Seuss. I keep on wanting to say Taboola. Taboola's got a new spot. It was like, oh, did you get video? It was anticlimactic. Jessica took some video. Bug her. Go into the Discord and figure out whatever her name is and then ask her. I want to see the video. I didn't take any video. I mean, I think I popped on video for like 6 seconds after she had already gone in and been kind of around here. But literally, she just walked over here and then she was just kind of like put her hands on her hips and just kind of like, huh. And then just like sat in the corner, and that's it. That's all she did. Just came over and said like, well, look at that. But we had an opportunity. There's so much of the work is dependent on getting her squared away and getting her put into a position where she needed to go, which was getting her locked up. And she did. She actually went into the lockdown to get a drink of water. I looked over, and I'm like, she is in her lockdown. And Calvin was just like, well, shit. Like, if you like get her locked up, we can start doing the work. And I'm just like, okay. So then, because it's like he had been down here, he had been parked, and he had all of his stuff. So there was a whole bunch, like, because we were getting this whole thing ready anyway. One of the last things was that wall was still on there, but he had already taken all the poles out. He had put a new gate here. Calvin did. So this was not here. Yesterday morning, this wasn't here. And then and when I say like yesterday morning, like by the time I started working with him, maybe at about like 10 o'clock, 10:30, this was here. That's like that. Calvin he's the Bama Wizard. He's the Bama Wizard. It's his new nickname. It's his new title. He's earned it. He's earned it. The Bama Wizard. Because he can do fucking wizardry when it comes to fixing shit and building shit and putting shit together. But yeah, fence is down. So to fucking Tabula, Kiara has access to both sides. There's a fence wall over there, fence wall over here. But it's like, you have to stretch the chain link, and then you have to wire, bracket. You got to do that for all the new fences that you put up. That's kind of like, that little spot's kind of secured. She can go in this way, out that way. So it's a little kind of meandery and kind of goofy, but it works. It works. And then same goes for this side. Took all the fences down from there and there. And it's not, so you have to take the fences down, you have to like disconnect all the wiring, and then Calvin went through and cut all the pipes out, because it's like you have brackets, wire on the top, and then there's a piece of rebar that goes across the bottom, that wire. You wire that. So then you go through, you cut all the rebar with a cutting torch. That's what Calvin does. And then there was a drop gate here. He cut all those down. And now you can just go through. One of the next plans is that he's going to be taking down, so he's going to actually cut down one of the inclines. I can't remember which one. Probably this one that's closest to this side. So cut down the incline, actually put a roof all the way down. I mean, first you got to put like C-channel. So C-channel means it's looks like a C. It's like metal. It's piping and it goes all the way down. It's reinforced, but it's kind of open on one side. So then you C-channel, and then there's like bracketing, and then that's where you can put your roof panels on. Bama Wizard. Oh shit. I always learn a lot when I'm working with Calvin. Always. I every time I get the opportunity to work alongside him for like those big projects, I view it like, oh, this is like an apprenticeship of sorts. I gotta be careful, my phone's getting hot. I can feel it. So anytime that it's hot and I'm doing recording stuff and I'm out in the sun, because the act of recording just naturally brings up the temperature of the phone. It raises the temperature. So, Allie, what are you doing out in the sun? Get over into the shade. Get into the shade. And Prin is here. Oh, there she is. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. What are you mad at? What are you upset? Hey, come on. Smile a bit. Come on. Hey, baby. Hey, sugar pie. Hi, sugar pie. She's like, I saw you working with Calvin, and there was a lot of tools, and there was a lot of scary stuff, and I'm not really too fond of any of the stuff that's been going on the last few days. It's been upsetting. Okay. It's fair. It's fair. Once we can get Rasa, which we have to put the transport cage back up. So this is the thing, is like the transport cage was up on Rasa's lockdown for days, and we were just it's silly because we were getting to the point where Rasa like literally was like putting her head in. She's putting one of her peats into the transport cage. I think one intern, when they were going watering, they actually saw her inside the transport cage at one point. So it's like, that's all really good. It's just like slowly just getting her okay with that thing being there until one day you go, haha, sucker. And then she's like, fuck. Once you got her, you got her. And we move her over to the next, the enclosure. And it's like, we can base a move off of like that on the fact that one, there's not like some like pressing medical necessity that has to get taken care of right now. There's not an urgent need to move a cat. Sometimes when you have an urgent need to move a cat, you have to employ more just like, hey, I need you to get into the thing. And then the cat's like, I don't want to. And then I'm like, well, what if I dress up like a scary garbage bag man? And then the cat's like, I'm persuaded. So there's like different things that you have to kind of do. But for this one, we can work with the fact that like, yeah, we want to move Princess to Rasa's, and then we want to move Rasa over there. We want to be able to do other stuff, but there's not this like huge, like, it has to be done. So that's why we can take our time. Take your time, hurry up. The choice is yours. Don't be late. Are you being emo? Are you being emo, tiger? Mita Pita. Mita Pita, are you emo, tiger? Emo, tiger. My Chemical Romance, tiger. Mita. Rock and roll with emotions. Heidi and I are very excited. We have a really fun thing planned for today. We are going to be making our way to the grand reopening, or the seasonal reopening, of the Decorator's Warehouse, which is Texas's largest Christmas decoration store. And I'm so excited because they closed down for a few months, like in the spring going into summer. I think like 2 or 3 months or something like that. I think like from April, May, June, and then like beginning of July. So after 4th of July, they'll open back up. And I mean, come on, Christmas in July, that's a thing. Hi. But today is their grand reopening. Their seasonal grand reopening. Yeah. And we have an opportunity, because like we, busted our asses, got a bunch of shit done last few days. Now everything is just like we're in a good spot. It's like in one of those it's in a rare valley. A rare, not a rare, but it's not, I shouldn't say rare. But if you play your cards right, so it's like you'll have like work, and then kind of days where it's like work, and then some days where it's just like, you know what, there's not a whole lot going on. Today's one of those days. And then your week just kind of looks like that. If you're not doing things right, if you're scheduling your resources, or just sometimes like the circumstances of whatever it is that you're dealing with, you just have a lot of days in a row of just work. Like Rihanna said. But yesterday was 4th of July. We ended up grilling a lot. And I say we, it's a collaborative effort. Yes, I'm the one that's doing the coals and the stuff, but Heidi generally does, she'll do all the spices. She'll do all the spices and the mixing and like getting the stuff inside ready. And then she'll be like, here's trays of meat. Put them on fire. good sir. And I'll be like, yes, ma'am. I am good at such things. I have been practicing. Uh-oh. 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 The princes have opinions. They're princely opinions. It's okay. It's okay. I love you. Love you too. Love you both. Love you both. There's Zara over there. No, but we had oh geez, I just saw some Pete's. Over there. But yeah, we ended up grilling a bunch. So then, you know, this morning, today, well, we had like a brunch made up of, yeah, there was like some grill leftover, which that was fun. So it's like, yeah, you want some toast and some brats? Nice. I'm like, heck yeah. And then Heidi's like, what's on your agenda, sir? I'm like, what's on your agenda, ma'am? And she's like, don't you take that tone with me. And I'm like, don't you take that tone with me. And then she's just like, you know what we need? We need some Christmas in our lives. And I'm like, you're right. We're at each other's throats. We need some holly jolly. I'd already been looking up some different Christmas in July events that are taking place. There is actually going to be some stuff happening over in Grapevine, which is the Christmas capital of Texas, Grapevine, Texas. Or so they claim, but I'll say it makes sense because you walk up and down that main street during the evening, anytime in December, and it is fucking magical. It's fucking magical. Grapevine, Texas, their historic main street. Love it. I love it. Hi, potato. Yeah, I gotta gonna be do some Christmas stuff, so you gotta stay here with Jessica. Which I know, that stinks. Here's some snuffles. Yeah. To hold you over until I get back. Just a good boy. You're such a good boy. You're a good boy. But yeah, Decorator's Warehouse. That's where we're going today. That's in Arlington. Different place. All of the towns that I'm talking about, they're all part of like the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's, you know, it's like, oh, like Bel Air and Brentwood and Venice Beach are all kind of like different areas of the greater Los Angeles area. There's like one chunk of like, oh, this is Los Angeles proper. Just like there's here's a district that is officially Fort Worth. Here's a district that is officially Dallas. And then it's surrounded by like dozens of like smaller cities. So yeah. All right. Enough of this palaver. Let's get this show on the road. Thanks for tuning in. You fancy people. Thanks for tuning in. Thankfully, the phone stayed filming. Didn't get too hot. If it does, it just happened to cut out. Know that's probably what happened. But we're at the end of it anyway, so it's okay. I'm gonna look, just so you know, that Zara is right there, and then Mika is down there. You can see she's walking around right there. All right. Thanks for your support, your hard-earned dollar dues. Thanks for being fancy, and we'll talk to you next time. All right. Bye-bye.